In the ancient world of Greece, there lived a mighty warrior named Odysseus. He was the king of the island of Ithaca, known for his cunning mind and bravery in battle. Odysseus was one of the Greek heroes who fought in the Trojan War, a conflict that lasted 10 long years. After the war ended with the famous Trojan horse strategy, Odysseus longed to return home to his wife, Penelope, and his young son, Telemachus. However, the journey home was not easy. Odysseus faced the wrath of the gods, particularly Poseidon, the god of the sea, who made his voyage perilous. The journey that should have taken weeks stretched into a 10-year Odyssey filled with incredible challenges and encounters with mythical creatures. One of the first obstacles Odysseus encountered was the land of the Lotus-Eaters. There, his men were tempted by the lotus fruit, which made them forget their desire to return home. Odysseus had to drag his men back to the ship and sail away before they lost themselves in forgetfulness. Next, Odysseus and his crew landed on the island of the Cyclops, where they encountered Polyphemus, a giant with a single eye. Polyphemus trapped them in his cave and began devouring Odysseus's men one by one. Using his wits, Odysseus tricked the Cyclops by telling him his name was Nobody, and then blinding him with a sharpened stake. When Polyphemus called for help, he could only say that Nobody was attacking him, leading the other Cyclopes to ignore his cries. Odysseus and his remaining men escaped by clinging to the undersides of Polyphemus's sheep as they were let out to graze. As they continued their journey, they encountered many more dangers. They faced the witch Circe, who turned Odysseus's men into pigs before being convinced by Odysseus to change them back. They navigated past the deadly sirens, whose enchanting songs lured sailors to their doom. Odysseus, determined to hear the siren's song without succumbing to it, had himself tied to the mast of his ship while his men plugged their ears with beeswax. Perhaps the greatest challenge of all was when Odysseus had to choose between sailing past Scylla, a 6-headed monster that would snatch and devour his men, or Charybdis, a massive whirlpool that could swallow his entire ship. Choosing the lesser of two evils, Odysseus steered toward Scylla, losing a few men but saving the rest. After many more trials, including a visit to the underworld where he sought advice from the prophet Tiresias, Odysseus finally reached the island of the sun god Helios. There, his men, driven by hunger, ignored his warnings and slaughtered the sacred cattle of Helios. As punishment, Zeus struck their ship with a thunderbolt, killing everyone except Odysseus. Alone and adrift at sea, Odysseus washed ashore on the island of Ogygia, where he was held captive by the nymph Calypso for 7 years. Eventually, the gods intervened, and Calypso was forced to let Odysseus go. He set sail once more and, after further trials, finally reached Ithaca. Upon his return, Odysseus found his home overrun with suitors vying for Penelope's hand, believing he was dead.